few moments and talk to you about why this is an important element. Can everybody hear me? I hope. Why this is an important element of your strategy. And then I want to be able to have a few moments afterwards to take your questions, because you're probably brimming with a few questions of your own. So I have 3 components today that I want to speak about. The first one is social starts with a sound strategy. How many of you have some sort of social channel, where there be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, something for your business? Okay. How many of you post there regularly? Okay. How many of you have a social channel that has cobwebs? Like you started a Twitter account, but you're not sure what to do with it? Okay. All right. So that's usually what we find, is people have an intern or someone that started a strategy for them. Started a channel for them, and they have no strategy to back up why they're in that channel or what they're doing. So what we're going to do is, we're not going to talk specifically about Instagram or Vine or Facebook today. We're going to back it way up to strategy, because that's where you need to begin if you want to be effectively communicating with your followers and the people that you want to get to, which are ultimately your customers. And then secondly, we'll talk about how to beef up your presence in a smart way, and why valuable content leads to thought leadership, which leads to ultimately, hopefully, leads to customers. The tools are free, but the content management isn't. So there's a premise out there, because Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Vine and Periscope and Snapchat and whatever you want to name are free, then therefore I shouldn't spend any money on managing that content. And so what I want you to take away from today is also a lot of times people will say, oh, I'll give it to the summer intern, or I'll give it to the new person, or there's somebody in my company that knows Instagram. Well, the problem with that is, without proper training or knowledge or knowing your business, that person really doesn't know what to post or what to do, because they don't really know, they don't have the experience. So I had someone tell me it's like giving a megaphone to the person that's the most inexperienced person in your company. So I want you to think about, you used to spend money on yellow pages, right? Direct mail, billboards, maybe some of you, those sort of things. Well, you freed up that money now, but that doesn't mean that you need to free up your content management system to just anyone. You need to take the time, just like a typical marketing strategy, to also count social as part of that. So this is the way most organizations or social media companies approach you. They start with a funnel. And they will tell you that there are 4 things to get you customers, and it's just like a funnel. So most companies will start out, I'm talking about outside companies that are trying to get your business, and they'll say, oh, we can get you 10,000 likes or 40,000 followers. Has anybody ever been approached by a company like that that's trying to tell you that they can get you followers or likes? And then they'll say, oh, you need to generate more posts on your Facebook account, or more feeds on Instagram, or more YouTube videos. And then they'll show you metrics of the number of people that have hit your site or hit your social media, because everything can be measured. And then you hope that leads to prospects, which you hope leads to the drip campaign, which are called customers. What is wrong with this strategy? Is this a strategy? Let me ask you that. Is it? Somebody shaking their head no. Yes?
They might not be
targeted audience, and they're just people. Right. Thank you. So it's quantity, it's not quality. But yet, a lot of people focus all their energy, customers and outside firms focus their energy on this stuff. And it doesn't matter. Because if you have 10,000 likes and 2,000 of them are your customers, what does it matter? And if you post 15 posts a day and it's crap, what does it matter? So that is not a strategy, but that's what most social media companies sell today. They sell this. And if you buy it, don't buy it. I mean, don't consider it. It's not the name of the game. So we're going to go through what a strategy is, but a reality check is likes, shares, tweets, comments, follows. That's not a strategy, that's engagement. That might be part of your strategy, but that's not really a strategy. That's just getting more people to like that post, that's great. Getting them to comment, getting them to share it, that's wonderful. But that's not a strategy. That's just, you hit a home run on that particular post. And not every post you're going to hit a home run, but it's engagement. So how many of you would ever build a house without having a plan? Nobody, right? You would have you need to have an architecture. You need to have a plan. Same thing with social media. You need a plan. You need a plan just like a house. You need a drawing of what you're going to do and why you're going to do it. So just like building a house, you wouldn't build a house and put, the basement, or, oh shoot, I need a basement. I'm going to lift up this foundation and put a basement in. You wouldn't do that. It'd be too cost prohibitive. Social media is the same thing. The thing with social media that you don't understand is when you put out posts or are on channels and you're not thinking it through with a strategy, you don't know how many customers you're losing. That's a hard thing to measure because you just don't know how many you're confusing. They don't really like the message. They're not with you. So there's all these potential clients that you're possibly missing because you don't have a strategy and they see it. So all you're becoming is noise. So what you need is a plan. You need a plan, just like the house that you're going to build. You need a plan. So what we do and what we recommend is you build your strategy from the ground up. Just like putting a basement in, you build it from the ground up. So you start with your strategy. And then you select the right channels. So Facebook might be your right channel and it might not be. Vine might be your right channel and it might not be. You need to be where your customers are, not where you're comfortable with. We always see customers of ours that go with us. Somebody's very comfortable with one channel. They're comfortable with LinkedIn. They're comfortable with Facebook. And so they post all the time to that channel because that's what they know and love. But that may not be where your customers are, and probably isn't. So you need to know where your customers are, and then you need to do something that's called content creation, which means social media is not a constant advertising about you. It's about focusing on your customer. It's about drawing them in. Some of it's about you, but some of it's about them, or your city, or trends in your industry, or tips. It doesn't always focus on you. Have you ever been to a networking event where somebody just wants to talk about themselves all the time? We've all been there, right? And what do you do when you see that person? You go, oh, there's Bob. I don't want to talk to him. That's what what social media is if it's only all about you. If it's only about you, people don't want to read it. They don't care. You can mix it in with you occasionally. That's good. But they want to know it's about them. It's about what's going on in your area, in your members, if you have members, if you have customers, what's going on with your customers, if you have employees, what's going on with your employees. You can do little touch points that will do that very well without making it look like it's just, oh, we got a special today, this is our special, tomorrow this is our special, here's our special again. You don't want to do that. And then hopefully you're creating what's called top-of-mind awareness so that they'll remember you. When they need to call the city, they'll call Glenn, or they'll call the Economic Development Center, or if they need a banker, they'll call Pam, or they'll call, I mean, that's what you're trying to do. Ultimately, you're trying to create top-of-mind awareness so that they remember you, or Rhonda's situation, need detailing, need a house clean, need something. They're going to call her, which will lead to quality leads, which will ultimately lead to customers. So instead of that funnel, I want you to think about it this way. Because it's better to have quality leads than quantity. You know that little thing that 80% of your business is generated by 20% of your customers? That's true in social media too. So if you can get your 20% of your customers to focus in on this and then build that base, that's the way you're going to grow with social media. Now, here's the other thing. If you can't be found on social, like you have no channels, zero, you don't have LinkedIn, you don't have Facebook, you don't have anything, then you're not considered a real business. So you need to find out where your customers are. How do you find out where your customers are? Ask them, right? Are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Snapchat? Where are you? Right? And you cannot go and look at these studies that say, oh, Facebook is for this demographic, and Snapchat is for this demographic, and Periscope is for this demographic. That doesn't work anymore. My 76-year-old mother is on Facebook every day. My 52-year-old brother still carries a flip phone. That's the reality. He's not on any of these channels. So you need to ask them. You can ask them when you see them. You can do a survey monkey. You can do whatever you need to do, but don't be on, make sure you don't confuse them or lose them by being on the wrong channels or not on any channels at all. I was just talking to a prospect a couple months ago. He's on nothing. He doesn't even have a website. And yet he's wondering why he isn't getting any customers. And I said, because there's no way to validate you. What? I'm worried about my privacy. I said, then you set your privacy settings. There is no privacy anymore. I mean, no real privacy anymore, so you kind of got to get over that. Glenn's like, no, none. It's transparency. Everything is transparent nowadays. So if you have no social signal at all, people are going to go, is this a scam artist? Is this somebody just trying to get my business? Doesn't really exist. They say they're in Kent, but they're not really in Kent. Where are they? Where is that person? So you have to be on at least one social channel, but more importantly, you have to be where your customers are. So I'm just going to take you through a few slides on a good sound strategy, and then I'll open up for questions if I have time. I don't know what my time situation is. sound strategy starts with best practices, knowing social media best practices, and knowing them through a competitive analysis. So we do several competitive analysis. We take businesses that are your size with either your revenue or your employees or whatever you are. Like if we were comparing the city of Streetsboro, we wouldn't compare it to the city of Cleveland. We would compare it to a city that's the same size and demographics of Streetsboro around the country. And then we want to see what they're doing. What are they doing well? What are they not doing so well? And then what are you doing well that we can tap into and basically start the strategy by understanding best practices, where your customers are, and then tapping into that competitive analysis. Because what I tell people is if you wait, I'm waiting on social media. I'm waiting on, I don't have time. I'm waiting. Well, what's happening is while you're waiting is your competition is just growing and growing and growing. And by the time you try to steep that hill, you're going to be so far behind that there's no way to catch up. So don't wait anymore. You need to do. You need to act. Because they're just gaining on you the more and more you wait. I know you probably, I said this already, but I say it over and over again. A sound social media strategy is entirely customer-centric. Entirely. It's not about you, it's about them. What do they want to hear? What do they want to know? What tips can you provide? Where can you give them more information? What can you do to help them? Because you help someone that's a prospect, guess what? They're going to remember you next time they're ready to make a purchase. Or you share with them something that's important. I mean, I share with small businesses every day, all day long. I don't expect them to give me business, but today is an example. I have a friend of mine whose website was down. I went to it, I was like, John, what the heck, your website's down. He said, oh, thank you for telling me. It's the server, the guy on the server, he said it will be back 10 minutes. I said, all right. So he emailed me again. He says, all right, 10 minutes has passed. Is it back up? I said, no, it's not back up. He said, what should I do? I said, it's probably not on the right browser. You're looking on this browser. I'm looking on Chrome, blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much. Now, maybe I'll get business from him, maybe I won't. But he's a small business, and I'm trying to help him out by showing him things that he can do better or alerting him to a problem. That nobody would do that. So small businesses, I'm a small business, most of you are probably small businesses, trying to help each other out. It's customer-centric. Put the lens away from you, put it out there. And you will get more followers, and you will get more people wanting to follow you and hear from you and share that information because you're giving them valuable information. Unlike what most of you have probably thought or heard, social media strategy is about giving a voice to everyone. It isn't about giving a voice to the intern or the CEO or the director of marketing. It's about giving it to lots and lots of people in your organization. Well, what about control? You train them. That's how you control it, and you monitor it. But you need to give more and more people that voice on your social media channel. I'll give you an example. We did some training and strategy for Coleman Professional Services in Kent. And they had 3 people that had a voice. And guess where all 3 people were? In Kent, Ohio. Yet they're an 8-county, $50 million nonprofit. I said, stop. You need to give your voice to each person in the county at least and more. So they went and did that, and their engagement rose, their content rose, their everything rose. I mean, it just was great. We trained them on how to do it, and we trained them on don't do this in silos. So you need to have a central person that is basically monitoring what's going on. And what I mean by that is you don't want somebody in this county posting this day and then the same person from another county posting the same day, and multiple people posting on one day and then nobody posting for the rest of the week. So you need to have what's called a content calendar so people know when you're posting. But this is huge. The Roosevelt Hotel in New York City gave training to every single person in their hotel. That was 225 people, and gave them access to all the social channels. There was no abuse, and there was huge engagement because all of a sudden the janitor's writing something about it, and the housekeeper's writing something about it, and the CEO and the director of marketing, and it was wonderful for them. So this is this way it's going. Is the strategy is giving the voice to multiple people instead of just a few select people. Social media is also ever fluid and encompasses new tools. So today you might walk out of here and go, oh, Facebook, got it. Twitter, got it. And then all of a sudden these little creepy little tools come out and you're like, oh, I gotta learn another one. Periscope is the newest one. Anybody tried Periscope? Know about Periscope? Yeah, Nate, what you doing with it?
I'm doing nothing with it right now. I watch a lot of videos on it.
Okay, you watch videos? Yeah, it's becoming a new business tool. And it's live streaming video. And people can also give, it's owned by Twitter, by the way, and they can also tweet. So the person that's doing the video, like Glenn, you could do it. You could do like the state of the city, real clip, like 3 minutes every day, and then people could follow it and write little notes on, what about this? What about that? What about this? And you can change your talk because you're seeing the stream of comments as they're coming across. It's probably going to be one of the hot tools in 2016, 2017. I'm not sure how it's going to be used in business. Hilton's using it right now. They're trying to figure out how to use it, and select businesses are using it, but don't discount it. Snapchat? All heard of Snapchat? The kids' tool? Yeah, probably not a kids' tool too much longer. So it's that primarily 13 to 23 year age. Does anybody know what Snapchat is? Shall I explain?
Explain.
Okay, they can do a video. They can do a short video. They can chat it out to their friends. Their friends can also comment on the video. You can actually do interactive, or you can do it. You can save it, but it's gone in 30 minutes.
Oh.
That's the kids' rule to supposedly. Now they're getting a little bit smarter about it. They're like, well, maybe if we don't want it. And it was designed for a young man who didn't want to show a trail to his parents, right, of social media. So they're like, oh, let's go on Snapchat, right? So we don't have to show that trail of the Facebook things. But they're getting smarter on the business end, and they're allowing you to now save it if you want to save that chat. So it would be great in a business environment, like if you were trying to get a message out to all your employees who were on Snapchat, let's say, and they could chat back at you, either live or in that thread. So now it's being able to be saved. So I'm just using these two as examples, that not necessarily that they're going to catch on, but just when you think you have a strategy, something's going to shift. So just be aware that it's ever fluid and ever changing. So that's pretty much much it. This is our slide. I have a digital marketing specialist. She couldn't be here today, Katie Conaway. And Mulligan Management Group, I put my cards out. And please call us if we can help. If I have a few minutes, I'll take questions. Does anybody have any questions? Yes?
I came here today thinking that I needed to kick some cooks out of the kitchen, so to speak, because I felt like we had too many. That are posting too many ads, pretty little ads, and like you mentioned, specials. Here's the special, and I've got multiple people doing it.
Right.
But then when you started talking about that at the end and giving more people a voice, how do I train them and wean them off the fact that I understand they want to put out an ad or an invitation to come visit, but I do want our social media needs to be more real and authentic and grassroots based. But how do I wean them off of that?
Okay, so they need to be trained on best practices. So I'm not saying that we have to, but we could do that. That's one of the things that we do. And then they need to follow an editorial calendar, which says, on Wednesdays at noon, we're going to post this special.
Okay.
Only on Wednesdays at noon.
And then it's done for the week or whatever.
Yeah, and then we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're going to do something about the city of Streetsboro or something about how Kia rates and I'm just throwing this out.
Right.
Consumer reports,
Right.
Or something about gas mileage,
Or I donated to a charity or an
yeah,
event.
or you know what? Bob over here has been with us for 6 years. Here's Bob, congratulate him, whatever it is, right? So it's more real, authentic, drives your business. So
Yeah.
they just need to be trained.
Okay, instead of kicking them out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I won't
Right.
do that.
Okay. Other questions? Yes.
I just wanted to give you a testimonial, actually. I'm on Facebook all the time for my personal Facebook page. I had a pretty good idea of what it was all about. But we had her come out to the news center and train both Ellie and I about how our business page should be ran. And she was so helpful with, what should be in your profile, what it should link to, where to put it. It's all what seems like very basic things that I think a lot of us overlook. So it was great to get us started in the right direction, and I think we've really grown since then.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Other questions? Well, thank you very much.
All right. He's waiting. He's waiting patiently. Glenn, why don't you come on up here and give us a little update?
I will be very brief. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming out again today. Thank you, Dee Dee. We at the city, we have tried what we can do to embrace Facebook and Twitter and things like that. Most of the major departments that we have, police department, fire department, us, Parks and Rec,